Hello, everybody. Shadow SP here, playing more Yggdra Union, as you can probably see. I've been prepping my mind for what's about to come. So, let's get into it. Heading to Canossa Road. Invading Bronchia. Starting a new chapter. Yeah? Good stuff. Alright, let's do it. Upon the coronation at Noct Altar, making Yggdra the 32nd monarch of Fantasynia, Yggdra took the deceased Joachim's words to heart and led her troops toward the imperial capital of Flarework in order to stop Emperor Volcasa's mad ambition. At the Fantasynian border where Canossa Road ends lies the fortress of Yggdra, protected by Baldus, the god of war. This impregnable fortress is an unavoidable barrier on the road into the Empire's territory. Baldus sensed the royal army's movement and placed court magician Yggdra at Yggdra's cannon, leading the elite guardian knights himself to form an indomitable formation before the fortress's main gates to await the royal army's arrival. That opening blurb is a mouthful, let me tell you that. You know, it's a maybe it's here's a little behind the scenes secret. I basically only ever restart these things at the beginning of any of my videos, whether it be, you know, Grand Blue or Yggdra Union, at the beginning when I'm dissatisfied with how it opens. But this one I've restarted a ton of times. Princess, the fortress of Yggdra is just past here. Durant, she's not a princess anymore, remember? She's the queen now. It's all right. Please, continue to call me princess. Okay, if you want. Won't that set a weird example for the other soldiers? Only when the war is over and true peace arrives. Only then can I call myself sovereign of Fantasynia. Well, if you say so. You're princess. Sure, whatever. Imperial units are stationed in front of Yggdra. Baldus' guardian knights are protecting the castle gates. The god of war, so Bronchia's shield has taken defense. The guardian knights are known far and wide as elite warriors. Sheesh, we're already off to a rough start. General Baldus, it's the royal army. So, they've come. We must hold this gate. Stamp them out, men. Alright, conditions of victory. Also known as lying. just throwing that out there ahead of time. Alright, so what we're going to want to do here is pick some units, as you might expect. Specifically, what we're looking for is units with high gen. I think we bench Nietzsche for this one because we can save the platinum ornament for like another round by doing that. Yeah. Platinum ornament's a good piece of equipment. Alright, so we're looking at Roswell. Russell has really bad gen. Could bring Cruz. Cruz has like acceptable gen. I'm in this weird spot where I'm thinking I kind of want to equip something to increase Milinor's gen. I don't want to use Boss Bandana. Definitely don't want to use Cardinal Cloak. This is steroids. Let me tell you that. Forbidden Fruit. It's one of the items that we got from the last map. Or the last, was it the last map? I don't remember. I think it was, yeah. No, it was the map before that. All stats up. Really good. We could go Gaudy Turban. But the no zero reset effect is actually something that's kind of interesting. You can block counter with the gauntlet. Block counter is not that useful of an ability. I mean, it's good, but it's not that good. Could go golden wheat and just farm experience on Millinor. Don't want to use that. Could use the Iron Helm, actually. That wouldn't be too bad. Like, Millinor doesn't... Like, we can have 5 attack, and that would be okay, but the... yeah, because we'd need to have at least 3 in order to get... No, we don't, because like, we need to have 1 Gen Star. I don't really want to use that. Sorry if this is boring, but this is the one. We're going to use Noble Glasses, because this item is kind of worthless. Evade Panic doesn't really do anything. I'm just checking real quick. You know, even if you've decided what you're going to do, you want to make sure that you're not... that you don't have something else that you'd prefer to do further down the line. Yeah, okay, so we're going to go ahead and equip Millinor with the Noble Glasses, which looks incredibly stupid, but just imagining it, and, you know, with that image and everything on Millinor's face. Alright, so we're going to go with Durant. We're going to go with Roswell. We have to select 2 more. We go with Elena here. Yeah, I think that's what we do. We go with Elena, and we go with Cruz, which sounds incredibly dumb because, you know, Cruz. But, nope, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to press the other button. Alright. We absolutely need morale for this fight. So let's just go ahead and give Yggdra the 7-star sword. Because that's not a very good... I mean, it's fine equipment, but lightning attack up, really? Alright. Looking for something good to give to Millinor. Golden Spear would be overfilling it. Sun Orb? Sun Orb. The ability to gain morale while moving in the daytime is not particularly good. Alright, Durant. Alright. Now looking. It's too much. Don't want to use Sylvia, because this is a weapon that Durant might actually want to use if we need to use him at some point in the future. I think we just use a couple medallions. We've got a decent count of them still. We don't want to waste certain things. Okay, so we could use Alchemy Glass, which is just an experience bonus. And I don't mind losing that because it doesn't really do anything. Don't get me wrong, the experience bonus items are good, but they're not that good. Alright, let's just give that. Alright, Cruz. The character that no one uses. For good reason. It's not 100% true. There are people that like Cruz. I'm not one of them, but they do exist. Yeah. 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 No, this is the right item for Cruz. Believe me. Alright, and then morale on Elena. We want to make sure we're back up to pretty much full. What was this? Sorry. No, I don't want to use that. Don't want to use. You don't want to overcap. You know how it is. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go with medallions again. This is like the equipment item, the Windcutter Blue, that enables some silly Elena strats for some things that aren't really necessary, but they are fun. Alright, so we've used a bunch of medallions. We've brought our 2 best archers. Let's bring some cards. So, we have pretty much all the cards at this point. We have 1 card missing. Obviously, we're going to be bringing the usual suspects. Steel, Shield Barrier, Gravity Chaos. Added into that list is going to be our newest member, Crusade. So let's look at Crusade. So, Crusade defeats all enemies. That's it. It sounds great, and it is okay. The best part about Crusade, though, is that it has 12 movement. So it is a movement card, and it starts with like 3,000 power, so it's really strong. The biggest problem, of course, is that only Yggdra can use it, but it's like Steel. It's like, right? It's Yggdra's signature card, Illinois' signature card, and both of them have their own uses. Both of them have a morale damage bonus. If you get Crusade win, you get a morale damage bonus, just like if you steal an item. The biggest difference is that Yggdra's you won't get any surviving member bonuses because you can only use it when Yggdra's the only one left. That's it. It pretty much works every time. There's very little that will defeat Crusade. Alright, then we're going to bring the movement cards. Dollcraft, Necrogate, Poison Breath, and Earthquake, Revolution. You might notice we're bringing a lot of cards here. We're going to be bringing a very key card, Banshee's Cry. Alright, then we go ahead and bring... let's go with Bloody Claw, Flame, because we've got Rodswell with the Ruby one. Let's bring Fortune, Kiss of Death, Dragon Killer. There we go. I don't know, some of those last ones are just kind of sketchy. I just kind of pick them at random. Alright, so let's check out the map. So our geography, right? We've got roads, lots of roads. An inaccessible cannon, where Beauty is perched. And we've got the gate that we're supposed to capture. Okay, here we go. Damn it! There's a cannon mounted on the wall! Those gates are the only way through. Charge! Okay, so, the battle conditions, right? Victory conditions? Defeat Baldus and get through the gates? You can't do it. So these knights, remember when we talked about status effects, right? They have 2 of them. All of them. And you can see, you know that high is a status effect that is visible. There are only 2 others, so those others are both applied to these knights. That being Protect and Invincibility. You can't beat them. I mean, you can, but you have to use really sneaky tricks like Crusade. But it's not worth it, because the battle conditions on this map require that you lose 10 clashes in order to go to the next part of the map. So winning only delays your suffering. Alright. So Baldus's knights, they're all guardian knights, just like he is. So they avoid elements, good on roads, good on bridges, bad against Griffin Riders. Alright, so Baldus has the Mars shield, which blocks charge, and all of his knights have medallions. And you can't beat them, so what do? Well, usually the conventional wisdom would be I use the steel card to do stealing things. And that's not a terrible play. But you'll take a ton of damage doing that. I mean, you're gonna take a ton of damage anyway. So 1550 is Baldus's card power. All right, so we don't have any terrain bonuses for Millinor to take advantage of, and Millinor would need to essentially only put himself into a two-man union if he's gonna fight Baldus. So Millinor would end up fighting 3 times, losing a bunch. Which we can still do, but I'm gonna go ahead and show off my favorite strategy. Banshee's Cry. Here, Cruz. You fight. Cruz, you like fighting, right? So, yeah, in order to get 10 wins, or 10 losses, I mean, we want to fight these guys on our turn and their turn. We can really see the advantage of Yggdra's stats at this point, considering she's up against a knight on a road, and she would have handily beaten them without the knight's advantage. So Baldus' card is Ace Guard, which is really annoying. Given that it means that your charges don't do anything if the card skill gets used. There really is an argument for bringing Russell on this map to be the ace of Banshee's Cry. We got the skill cancelled, so we're likely to take full damage here. It's one of the problems. So Banshee's Cry, you use it to when you lose, so you take less damage because of the ability difference. Yeah, it was right after. Jeez. Alright, fair enough. So yeah, the idea is you use Banshee's Cry, so you take less damage, so you end up in a good position that way. So Durant still has the Night Killer equipped, which is kind of fun. We don't want to let them have units alive if we can avoid it, but it's pretty hard. It's also really hard to time Banshee's Cry properly. Because it makes the enemy weaker, it means that it's harder for you to lose when they're under the effect of it. But that's what you want to do, right? You want to lose while they're under the effect of Banshee's Cry. There we go. So we get a good old minus 20% for the ability difference that way. Not bad. Alright, Cruz, show us what you've got. It's time for everybody to see how strong Cruz really is. It's okay, you're untrained. I get it. And also, you're up against an invincible opponent. It's okay. If Cruz loses and loses all of his morale, that's okay, because he's got no battle or no zero reset equipped, so he's not going to lose any of his experience. It's also why I was like, I want to raise everybody's gen, because getting higher gen means you take less damage from ability difference. That's why we really don't want Elena to fight these guys at all, because Elena only has 2 gen. We go aggressive a bit, just to try to, you know, eliminate the accompanying knights. Then we'll go passive. You guys know how it is. Doing the passive-aggressive dance. Alright, Banshee's Cry. Theoretically, we lose under this effect. Perfect. Just as planned. So Yggdra has a massive 6 gen at this point, which means, of course, we take 0 damage. Ah, yes. Durant versus Baldus. It's actually not that bad of a matchup, given the the stats that we see, and the fact that we've got the Night Killer equipped. But of course, Baldus is invincible, so you can't beat him. And at this point. Alright. So, ultimately, not so bad. Durant takes pretty minuscule damage. And gains a boatload of experience, because facing off against Baldus gives you that. Yeah, Baldus is, what, level 17? So yeah, you get anyone who's low level is going to get a lot of experience out of it. So here's one of the cruel things about this map. There's an item right here. I know this, because this item is annoying to get. You can get it. You get it from using Durant or someone with the hoof shoes to just walk through the enemy. But man, it just takes up a lot of time. And then when you move Cruz down to make full use of our movement, he'll still be in the extended union. We want to have Yggdra be the one getting attacked, because she's able to ace Banshee's Cry. Millinor isn't, so we don't move Millinor over. We're kind of protecting Millinor at the moment, because we're going to do some sketchy things in a minute. Sketchier, it's not that sketchy. Okay, well, I mean, that means we don't get hit with Ace Guard. That's a thing. Yeah, so you'll see with 6 gen, when Yggdra gets crit, she is absolutely out of it for a huge amount of time at this point. Alright, well, you know, sometimes you get crit, and all your plans mean nothing. At least now, when we're fighting, we're gonna deal counter damage. Counter damage, except with Cruz. Cruz can't deal counter damage. So Cruz is just gonna suffer. But that's okay. We're fine with that. But yeah, taking advantage of the Night Killer on Durant has been pretty useful. I did equip it knowing that this map was coming, and this was a good place to have it. Not because of winning, but because of minimizing damage. We don't want to take damage, but you have to lose, so we want to be in good position. Alright, so we're going to go do the passive-aggressive thing. We really do want to deal damage if we can. Cruz isn't the greatest at it. You know, with fielding Cruz here, I can at least say I have chosen to field every character in the game at least once. Cruz is important. Not on this map, but the next one. I'll tell you. It's gonna happen. You're gonna see it. It's a role no one else can fulfill. Or rather, it's a role that I would rather no one else fulfill. Alright, that's fine. Ouch. That was pain. That's okay. These things happen. So yeah, you can defeat these guys with Crusade and get, you know, power-ups or whatever on the card. It's not particularly useful to do so, but you can. Alright, so Yggdra will take a little bit of damage because she only got him down to 2. But that's okay. See, Durant would handily win if Baldus were allowed to lose here because of the Night Killer. It's a good weapon, I swear. Even if the only knights that you fight as enemies that are scary are Baldus on this map. Well, not this map exclusively. The only knight enemies that you fight that are scary are Baldus and Leon, and you get the Night Killer when, you know, Leon, like, right before Leon goes down. And then Baldus here is invincible, so. Beat me. Beat me. Beat me, old man. Beat me. Thank you. Alright, yes, it was an arrow win. Alright, you got me. We're power leveling Durant, that's what we're doing on this map. It's no good, Yggdra. Their defenses are just too tight. He's correct, Princess. We are outclassed here. I suggest we retreat to the hills and reorganize. Very well. Everyone, fall back and regroup in the hills. Over there, yes. Good thinking. We're out of cannon range there. Retreat! Hurry, everyone! Fall back to the hills! Mind change. What a weird card to pick on your on this enemy. Also, the way they move is just completely, like, brain dead. Alright, so what we're gonna do now. We are going to be moving. I need to do some counting real quick. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I can't do that on this turn. So I want to get Millinor here if I can, here if I can't. Not involved in a union with anybody else, because we want to use Steel on this turn to try to steal medallions from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, one of them is a Mars shield, but you know, you get through. We don't want Elena to get charged. We don't want Cruz to get charged. we would like to do a charge if we can swing it, which would mean that we'd need to put somebody down here. So let's do some calculations real quick. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 there. I need to at least use 6, 7 to get Yggdra out of charge range. And then 8 for Millinor, 9, 10. I'd have 2 left. Which would mean... So Roswell would have to fight this group by himself, but Roswell's pretty strong. There are some archers in this group, though. I don't want to move Durant down. I could use Cruz as just like bait, right? So if I'm here with Millinor, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I could have Millinor here. Okay. Yeah, that works. Ugh, lots of calculating. Alright, so steel means that we can put Roswell here. Sorry, we should tile hunt. Which gives us a 3-man union with Roswell, Millinor, and Cruz against the ambushers. We have strong power. The strong card power, the archers can't retaliate, so I think Roswell wins this clash. Same with Cruz. Millinor obviously beats the Undine. Ideally, we take this guy out in one shot. I don't know that we will, but we'll try. A crit will help. That is pretty good. I mean, Roswell does have 6 attack, so that is something to keep in mind. And we put in all the effort in the first clash because Millinor obviously beats the spear unit. It's just that Roswell is counterclassed, so we want to do as much damage as possible. Let's see, even without the crit, we might have won and taken him out in one shot, but it would have been a lot sketchier. Alright, you guys can stop critting. It's not necessary. It makes my strategy look like I'm not actually strategizing, I'm just getting lucky. I wonder if 140% of over 5,000 is enough to deal 3,000 damage. Yeah, it is. Turns out. Alright, Cruz. You gotta prove your worth. You know, if you're the only one that leaves an enemy alive, then clearly you're not good enough. So yeah, mind change. Unfortunately, this is a valid mind change, and the hunters have high enough tech to actually do it. So Cruz loses a unit. And the enemy gains one. So Cruz looks like an idiot. That's okay. These things happen. Come on, Cruz. Take him down. Only 50% damage. That's not enough. Cruz, come on, man. You're not good enough. That's enough bashing on Cruz. I mean, like, he's not good, but he's trying. Alright, get out of here. So, yeah. Funny story. This guy was the head of the enemy team. So now we don't have to worry about this team doing anything anymore. I was thinking that because if Roswell doesn't get that crit, he probably doesn't need him on his charge. So now we have a little bit more leeway with our movements. So we do that. We do need to move Yggdra out, and now we still do the exact same move because we need to move everybody out of cannon range eventually anyway. And this puts Millinor solo up against 5 knights, losing every time, but he needs to, he can steal to try to get the medallions off of these guys and the Mars shield off of Baldus. And the knights don't move. That's the one saving grace here. They don't move. Millinor, please. If you do that much damage, I can't steal. Oh wait, no, they're invincible. I can steal. Ah! So yeah, we're gonna steal these medallions because we're running a little low on medallions with only 10. And yeah, we're gonna have to use them to recover Millinor afterwards, but we want the Mars shield anyway because it's a pretty good item. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why that sound just played. And we go full passive so we can charge up for the next knight. And so on and so forth. I'm not sure that... So Baldus should be 3rd, so getting the Mars shield is a real thing that we can do. Ow! That hurt. Yeah, bridge knights, no joke. Yeah, so we'll take a little bit more, we'll probably take more damage from the 4th and 5th charges, because it's less likely that we'll be able to take out enough enemies to reduce the amount of damage that we're taking. Baldus is not on a road, or a bridge, so Baldus's class doesn't actually do anything here. So Millinor just should kind of handily body him, even with only 4 units, because it's the statistic difference. Alright, we'll get that Mars shield. He doesn't need that. Go passive. You can see Millinor would easily win here, but Baldus is invincible, so we can't do that. Pause at 76. That's more than enough. A narrow win by hard-coded game mechanics. All right. So let's see if we can squeeze the steal on this guy and the last guy. That would be ideal. Because then we can move Millinor away, and we have gotten a tidy profit off of these knights. We go passive, so we can prep for the last knight. Oh wow, Millinor took damage. I'm not surprised. Wow, so even then, Millinor still gets it down to 1v1 for every single fight. Good job, Millinor. Good job. So a side benefit, we get a ton of experience from Millinor. Not important, but it is a side benefit. Alright, good stuff. Bad stuff is, of course, we get hit with UD's cannon. By getting 10 losses on the first turn, we avoid the first salvo, but we can't avoid the second one. You'll never make it through here. Ready! Aim for the forces at the front gate. Fire! Whee! Alright, so Roswell's already out, Elena's out of range, but everybody else takes damage. Feels bad, but there's not much we can do about that. Okay, so now we need to move Millinor out of the way. It'd be ideal if we could get Cruz out of the way. And we need to move Yggdra down, so Millinor out of the way is 1. The cannon doesn't actually fire at night, so we're not as pressed to make moves. So Yggdra, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is required. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Would keep everybody out of Union and still have Durant in, like, reaching distance to grab this item. Okay. So here's another sketchy thing you can do. Whee! You know, it's Yggdra versus the world. It's what we're here for, right? It's Yggdra Union. We'll never fight alone, right? Oh wait. What am I doing? I'm fighting alone because I've got the power of the main character on my side. You know, the other thing is, you can actually beat invincible enemies with Elena if she's sufficiently built, because Bloody Claw defeats the head. However, that requires a lot stronger of an Elena than Yggdra requires to be, right? In order to do the full solo thing, and you probably need no battle penalty on Elena. Yggdra wants to be alone, so you know, no battle penalty is not a good thing. I mean, it's not a bad thing, because we still need some time to charge up after everyone. But yeah, this is just a way to get some free power on the Crusade. There's basically, like, only Crusade and Bloody Claw really can get card power out of these knights, so I might as well get some card power out of them while I can. We might lose a couple times because of battle penalty, but whatever. It's free. Sort of. Alright. Hello, Baldus. 2 is the ideal number to be pushed down to, because it gives me enough time to get ready for my crusade and theoretically charge up before winning the fight. Yggdra clashing, liking to fight alone. Yeah, alright. This is the thing. But yeah, Yggdra with no battle penalty is on your crusade turn is a house. She basically can't lose unless you're up against very specific scenarios. Canossa is actually one of them. If she's not knocked down to 1 before he uses genocide, because then you can't use you can't use your crusade activation. So we get some free power. We might as well get some free power on crusade because it's one of our power cards. It just kind of has that status by default because of how strong it starts. Starting at over 3,000 power is pretty good. All right, Yggdra, you don't have to do that. All right, so yes, here's another win. You know, on 2 separate turns in a row, we're doing one of the 2 main characters fighting alone against this entire enemy union. This doesn't seem like it's in line with the messaging of the game. This is the only one that we might lose against on this turn, because Knight on Bridge with effective damage against a 2-person charge. Nope, we got there. All right. Well, that means that it's quite likely that we win all 5 on their turn too, unless they crit. Yeah, it's super important to have Yggdra at 6 tech for Crusade, because she only starts with like 50-something%, 54 I think. With 6 tech, and that's, you know, it takes a minute to charge up, and she can't charge up after unleashing Crusade, right? It's already over. So the funny part about the Crusade damage bonus is that it applies 50%, right? Which is the amount that you would get from the 5 units that Yggdra starts with. So it's like Yggdra got a perfect victory when she uses the Crusade win. Alright, so free wins, we appreciate those. Free level ups. Yggdra now has max stats. Beautiful. This is beautiful. Yggdra is a perfect human being. Alright, then we're gonna move Elena down to here, which will let us get Yggdra out of the way on the next turn. Maybe get Durant up here and down. We're working on it. We're working on it. If we end up going through another night cycle, putting Broadswell here would save us a little bit of movement. Also, we can go here and see what's going on. We could send Yggdra there. That could make sense. If we're looking at rep, like if it's a rep-based thing, then Yggdra will have the highest rep unless she loses on the next turn. Yeah, whatever. We'll see. You really, you couldn't deal more than 1 damage come on, man. Now we have to sit here for a long time while you slowly whittle Yggdra's unit down. Ha! I beat you. Really, it probably would have been better if we let him use Ace Guard, because then we would have less damage incoming in the next couple clashes, but it's not that big a deal. Because the ones at the end are the ones that are, like, truly a little closer. Alright, so good job, Yggdra. Yes, you're doing the main character thing. You're winning. Alright, so let's reveal. We've revealed the trick here. The knights are invincible and have protect. See? I proved it. Yeah, I mean, it's a downside of having 6th gen is that enemy charges are less effective, which is really funny to say. It's a downside that the enemy's charges are bad. It's just that we want to take damage sometimes when we're doing Crusade strats. And it's hard to do. No, but 6th gen is actually legitimately downside when it comes to getting crit, which is really weird. But also, you're not winning when you get crit anyway, most of the time, so it's kind of irrelevant. Alright, get out of here. And what we're doing right here, which is fighting these knights, is totally optional. The game expects you to just run from them. Which, I mean, is the correct decision, because you can't beat them, but whatever. It's not what we're here for. We're here for doing random Crusade things. Ah, Baldus. I see you think you're winning, but you're not. So yeah, we get to actually show off Crusade on this map at least. You know, on its introductory map, it just didn't do anything special, because, like, Agina was fighting alone. Alright, this is the one. Do we lose here? Nope. We got the 3v1, and he still didn't manage to take us down before we unleashed. So, I guess you lose. Now, can Yggdra go for the perfect 10-0? That's the real question that we've got here. I would appreciate it if she could. That'd be pretty nice. Yep, we got it. 10-0 against the Invincible Knights. Go, Yggdra. So yeah, Yggdra is only this strong, by the way, because we focused on her so hard in the early game. She does get better when she class changes to Lapizel, but she still isn't, you know, unbelievably powerful like this. Right? If you hadn't focused on her and she was this level, she'd probably have like 4 attack, 4 tech, 5 gen, something like that, and like 2 luck, because of course. Good experience. We like experience. Alright. So, suck it, Baldus. Okay, next up, we have an 11 move turn. 1, 2, 3. We don't need to visit this village on this turn, I suppose. What's the cannon range? Elena, Roswell, and Millinor are all out of it, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll leave Durant in it, but that's okay, because Durant still needs to go up here. And let me count Durant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not quite enough to get out, so he'd need to go back out this way. Okay. Fair enough. No, hold on. There we go. Three, 4, 5. Something like that, that, and that. Okay. So Durant's gonna get pounded by the cannon a little bit. That's okay. Alright, so thinking, yeah, we Necrogate. See? It's cruel, right? There shouldn't be an item right there. That's dangerous. All right, but yeah, we can use a little bit of movement saving with Roswell here, and we can even use a little bit of movement saving with Durant because we can go this way. Alright, so now we're gonna pick, let's go with Revolution. Move save with Roswell. Move save with Durant. And move toward the goal. We're getting there. Maybe another couple turns, I guess. Pick Poison Breath. Go visit the village. They seem to be away. Okay, well, we'll visit the village later, I guess. Maybe it's only at night. That would be weird. Oh, in that case, there would have been a sneaky strat for giving Yggdra the warp shoes, so you could have her here and then warp here. Yeah. Start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'd be pretty sneaky. I like warp strats. They're very sneaky. Are you here now? Oh, you are. Okay. Orichalcum. Yeah, we do have that. Orichalcum. Excalibur. Yeah, so if I'm recalling correctly, you have to visit that with either Yggdra or Russell. With the Orichalcum in your inventory. Alright, so now we're down to our 9 movement cards. Not much we can do besides just move. Like, that's how it is. Then we go Gravity Chaos. And we are 1 move away. Jeez, was there any turn where we could have optimized 1 more move? Yes, but also no. Well, that's not that big a deal. So let's just pick a random card and get into position. Alright, we've regrouped. Is everyone here? Yeah, we all made it. Alright, we should be safe here for a while. The defense is impenetrable. We need a plan. Durant, call a meeting. We'll hear from everyone. So we still got +2 MVP. It's not relevant on this map because Yggdra is the only one who really did anything. I mean, we got to know a couple clashes on everybody else. This MVP bonus doesn't matter. Yggdra has perfect stats. But if she doesn't, you know, Crusade can get you there. If you're like short on tech or luck or something, then you can do this fight with, you know, the Crusade strats to get that MVP bonus. It is a little annoying because it takes quite a few turns. It won't be possible to simply force our way through. How about attacking them at night? That's what we always did at Marduk Woods. Some tacticians we are. You're pretty quiet there, Elena. You got any suggestions? But Come on. You know the area, right? Any ideas? A direct assault will be ineffective. Tell us something we don't know. But there is one thing. A river flows near the fortress of Ishnad. A floodgate was built to contain the water level. Then, what if we opened those floodgates? The river would wash out the entire fortress. Is that possible? I believe so. The rainy season has just ended. The water levels would be dangerously high. Durant, what do you think? I suppose it's worth a try. Alright, we've got ourselves a plan. That's it. So yeah, this map, if you don't know what you're doing, is really painful. Because you end up going into this not focused on taking less damage, but focused on trying to win, and you can't. You can't beat these guys. And our suffering does not end, because we are in, essentially, the Baldus saga, where we're fighting Baldus over and over again, until we manage to finally win. So next up, we're going to the next chapter, Southgate Mountain Bypass. Without any further ado then, this has been Shadow SB. Thanks for watching. See you next time.